I used to feel like I was created from leftover pieces. And I had that feeling for all of my life. April 23rd of this year would have been 13 years that I've been in the chair. It was it Mary Healy that said? She had explained that when people reach out their hands while they're worshiping, think about it as if your hands are up and you're reaching for your Father as a child. And when you were a child and you'd reach up and you'd just ask your dad to hold you. And so that night while the music was going on, I reached up and I just said, I need you, and I need you to hold me and just take care of me.
And at that time there was a word of knowledge that somebody's lungs were being reinflated, and she looked at me and said, you know.
I felt like there was somebody had turned water on in both of my ears and it was going down my body.
So she removed her vent, and at that point, you know, we had been working between our portable vent and our home vent and the batteries and keeping them plugged in. And, you know, if she came apart at the neck or from the vent at any time, you know, it was an emergency to get her reconnected because she just wasn't breathing. And here she just removed it, and there was no panic, no emergency. She was just sitting there, and her mom was on the other side of me, and, you know, Dani's crying, and her mom's like, oh, don't cry, it'll be all right, this just might not be the right timing. And I'm like, the vent's off, you know, she doesn't have it on.
I just was for a while just sitting there staring and
and she spent the whole evening kind of that way, like, is this real, you know? And then they made the altar call, and she's like, what do we do? And I said, well, let's go on up there. And, you know, I mean, like I said, she had been working with the therapist on walking with the walker, and we didn't bring the walker. And she stood up, and, you know, I get over to the wheelchair, which is by the aisle, and I'm like, okay, do you want me to pull it with me and hold on to your pants and we'll see how far we can go, you know, type of thing, because I'm not expecting her to be walking. I'm thinking the miracle is here. And
I said, no, let's just walk.
And, you know, we walked. All of the walking that I've seen since the healing happened is, you know, her walking like she has always walked, you know, never a misstep. Next morning she was jumping on the bed. You know, I mean,
it's been a while.
Yeah.
What?
So then since then, it's just been kind of a whirlwind of sharing this with her family and medical doctors, my nurses, home therapists, and they've been pretty shocked. And the following day,
the physical therapist came.
The nurse her reaction to it was,
we kind of punked both of them because we put her back in the wheelchair and just had her sitting there, you know, and then she looks at her and she goes, you're not connected.
You're not attached.
I know.
What is happening?
And Dani stands up and she goes, do you believe in the power of prayer? And she's like, what is going on here?
There is no way to explain it. It's God simply choosing to act and grant her the grace that now she can breathe where she couldn't breathe before on her own. She can walk where she couldn't walk before on her own. There is no medical explanation. From 1 second not able to do those things, next second able to do those things. I'm happy to see both, certainly the miracle of her coming off the vent and walking where she wasn't able to do any of those things before, but I'm more excited about what happened inside. Over the last 6 months, I've seen her and her husband just grow deeper in the faith. The faith becomes more real, Christ is more real. That's what I'm really excited about.
I question, how do I live up to what's happened to me? And how do I be worthy of this? And like Father Carl had told me, and something that I know but I need to continue to feel, and I think I do now, is that this is a gift. That this is a gift that I was given, and it doesn't, there's no repayment that anybody's looking for. And I just need to live my life with God at the center. And if I do what I think I'm called to do and what I need to do, then everything is going to fall into place.
Presumably you're going to have, in the days, months, years to come, lots of people asking you to explain this. How do you explain this?
I completely 100% believed that I was going to be taken care of, and I put everything I have in God's hands. And for the first time ever, truly believed that He was going to take care of me. I mean, how much more whole can you feel when you're broken in so many ways, and all of a sudden you're running around? And
I mean, as you can tell by her story, she has a phenomenal spirit. That throughout all of this, she just exudes joy for life. I mean, she has touched my life in ways that no one else could have, and it's just a series of, you know, small miracles that we sit here today in great relationship with our God and our church and each other.
our family.
And our family. I can't think of anybody more deserving of a miracle like this. Not that you have to be deserving.
It was it's our miracle.
It is.
When you pray, pray big. Pray for everything. You don't have to tone it down. God has the ability to do anything.